Hey there, hi there, and welcome in. I am Tappinator, you are the Tappers, and this is Obojime and Tales from the Tall Grass. It is a D&D 5e supplemental attachment set up by 1985 1985 Games. I backed it on Kickstarter, and today we're going to be going through it from top to bottom. Probably not going to reach all the way to the bottom. There's 372 pages. That'd be ridiculous. But we'll be getting into it, going over the introduction and the credits and all that stuff. Shout out to Adam Lee, Ari Livitich, Jeremiah Crofton. Terribly sorry if I mispronounce anybody's name. Shout out to Tony Casper for rules development. Absolutely love the art. Jeremiah, you did a fantastic job. Alexander Kloos did the cover illustrator. So it's very much like Studio Ghibli meets 1950s meets the D&D world. You got a lot of spirits. Huge thanks to the 23,416 Kickstarters. I am one of those 23,416 people. I really was excited for this. I have not received my physical copy yet because there's been a lot of setbacks with the whole tariff, shipping, all that stuff. So that's unfortunate. But absolutely amazing. I tried to be one of the community build winners. They have a section where you're able to add in community suggested things like either monsters, spells, alchemy. There's a huge alchemy section down below. If you want more content, watch the Obojime YouTube.
I made a Studio Ghibli inspired D&D setting.
Whoops. Not what I meant to do. Here's the map. Here's the Obojime map, which is pretty awesome. Where'd my thing go? Okay, pop back up, please. I had it all prepared. I didn't realize it was a clickable link. My goodness. It is, look. It is clickable. Right in the PDF. That's awesome. Great shout out to every single one of the artists. Everyone, please go give these wonderful people like, subscribe, love them, hate them. Doesn't matter. Go interact with their content because they do a great job. All right. So we're going to start out with About the World, theme and tone, the spirit realm, the spirits, the islands, how the Obojimes live, the history, the technology, the corruption, factions, and regions. A lot of the regions you can see here in the Obojime map: the land of hot water, the backwater wetlands, the coastal highlands, the gale fields, the gift of Shiratashis, and Mount Obora. And then plenty of little extra ones down here. You can see all the little subsections of each of them. Oh, and the Shallows. The Shallows is just kind of the general all the way around the island. Locations, they go into continued depth about each of the different locations. Land of Hot Water, the Gift of Shurashashi, the Mount Obora, the Gale Fields, the Blackwater Wetlands, the Coastal Highlands, and the Shallows. Let's see. Other locations: Wandering Line, the Four Sword Schools, so on and so forth. Player options. We got ancestries, you know, races and all that. Subclasses, which is the classes for Ranger, Monk, Barbarian, Druid, as all you expect in a 5e thing. Backgrounds, languages, equipment, adventuring gear, feats. They got some really cool feats. They got some really cool skills. Magic items. We'll get into that at a later date for sure. And spells and potions. The potion brewing section is phenomenal. I love it, and I've already implemented it pretty deeply in my home campaign. The Hero's Journey boon system, I haven't read that one yet. I've only skimmed a lot of these just because I was really excited to show you guys. Friends and Foes, Mysteries, Histories, and More. Oh, I like that. Mysteries, Histories, and More. And then they have a couple preset adventures for the DM who doesn't They have some preset adventures for the DM who does not want to be the sole curator of their own adventures, which that can be pretty challenging. Ugh. Sorry if I sound a little rough. I recently got out of the hospital. My throat's not perfect yet. Forward! Like many people reading this book, I've spent much of my free time playing games, watching anime, and reading comics. They're all hobbies I've been passionate about since I was a child, and they have not become any less relevant to me in my adult life. I know that those aren't unusual claims, and I imagine that I'm probably not any more invested in these hobbies as some of the other amazing community members I've come to know during the creation of this book. I say all that to let you know that I recognize and I am incredibly grateful for the opportunity I've been given with this project. OBOJIMA wasn't something I've ever thought I would be able to make. Even after starting a gaming company, it requires not only dozens of talented individuals coming together to craft a book worth reading, but also the support of a community such as yourself that is willing to give their time, energy, and hard-earned money to support a project that very well could have sucked. Lol, it doesn't, I promise. I'm so appreciative for you guys giving me a chance to make something I'm truly proud of. Thank you all, Jeremiah Crofton. Well done, Jeremiah, you absolute little master. Look at the beautiful art, look at the freaking funky chicken, and you know it's gonna be a good time. Welcome to the island of OBOJIMA. If you are reading this, then welcome to the world of OBOJIMA. You've made it to this mysterious island where all manner of adventure awaits you. Whether you are the player or a GM, we're sure you will enjoy this setting that invites you to play in a world with a very distinctive flavor. From spirit festivals to abandoned convenience stores, OBOJIMA is sure to hold a story worth telling. We hope as you explore the island, its people, and the mysteries that you are able to experience D&D in a new and refreshing way. Good luck, and may the wind find your sails. Whew, there's gonna be a lot of reading in this. So here is the how to use the book, player and GM facing material, and live in the world. As with most source books that describe a world, there are sections for all readers, players and game masters alike. But in this book, there are sections to be read only by the game master. These sections for GM eyes only contain secrets better left unread by players. Sections such as the 3 adventures that come with the book, or the explanation of the great mysteries of OBOJIMA. And so to ensure your OBOJIMA experience will be the highest caliber, we've coded the book. Just letting you guys know right now, I'm going to be reading pretty much all of it. Game master stuff, player stuff, little asides. It's going to be awesome. Look for blue. Titles, headers, tables, boxes, and glyphs that are colored blue are ways we've marked a section for GM only. As a player that's glancing through the book, be on the lookout for blue. It doesn't say avoid the blue, it just says look out for the blue. Other books. If something is followed by an asterisk, it means it's an option introduced in a book other than OBOJIMA, such as the 5e basic rules. Live in the world. Before you roll up your first character, we invite you to live in the world a little before you take the plunge to start rolling the dice. Learn a bit about the island, read over some of the locations, look at the art, and allow your mind to make up stories in your head. Absorb the backgrounds and the faction sections to get a feel for what it is like to be an OBOJIMAN. Out here on this idyllic magic island filled with spirits and mysteries. If you're used to playing or running games in D&D, OBOJIMA provides a potentially refreshing break into another realm of storytelling and role-playing. While fighting monsters and getting treasure can certainly be part of any OBOJIMA adventure, figuring out relationships, discovering clues to solve weird mysteries, and parlaying with elder spirits to appease their wrath are among some of the less combat-centric and more role-playing heavy aspects of the gaming in this world. And so, really immersing yourself and becoming an OBOJIMAN is something that we highly recommend. Readers should be on the lookout for our notes throughout the book. As writers, we often leave alternative interpretations, options, or notes on a topic. These notes are completely optional, so feel to ignore them if you prefer the standard writing. So with that, we bid our noble game masters happy storytelling. May you delight in surprise your friends at the table of imagination. And to our intrepid players, may you enjoy boundless adventure filled with wonder in a world of OBOJIMA. Adam, Ari, and Jeremiah, you amazing authors, we applaud your creation. Already amazing. I mean, just look at the art. Just look at the absolute... hello, Deadly. Look at the absolute gorgeous system that they've built here. There we go. We'll back it out a little bit. About the world. OBOJIMA is a world full of magic and spirits where people live and explore and where there are festivals for every occasion. Although life here is mostly idyllic, with farmers tilling their fields and shepherds tending to their sheep dragons, there are plenty of adventures to be had. Travelers will find their fair share of it by simply walking from village to village, following rumors and spirit companions, and allowing the strange and wonderful tales of the tall grass to unfold. The themes and tone. Most tales told within OBOJIMA are generally going to be pleasant and relaxing experience for you and your players. A journey into a realm of leisure fantasy where time slows down and descriptions delight in the small details. How the warm breeze blowing across the gale fields dances on the skin, or the cozy comfort of slipping from a hot cup of soup on a cool evening, around a campfire with companions. In OBOJIMA, those small sensory vignettes are the biggest tool in the GM's repertoire. But that isn't to say that everything in the world of OBOJIMA is pastoral and easygoing. There are monsters plenty of peril. Let's try that one again. There are monsters and plenty of peril here that the GM can use to turn a delightful stroll through the countryside into a harrowing situation where blades, bloodshed, and arcane magic are required. These contracting facets of OBOJIMA make for a compelling storytelling, as your moments of danger will feel that much more dangerous, and your moments of tranquility will feel that much more earned. Here are a few things to keep in mind as you create your OBOJIMA adventure. Magic in the mundane. An OBOJIMA story is a journey into a world of wonder, where innocence, laughter, and simple joys are just as important as discovering magic, unraveling intrigues, and exploring the mysteries of the island. Tales told here feel small and contained, like getting to know every subtle nuance, quirk, and charm of the village, and the various characters who inhabit it. We invite you to slow down and tell small stories here. Allow them to come to an end. Not every adventure here needs to continue as a long, epic campaign. That is actually a fantastic advice for dungeon masters in totality. So many dungeon masters, especially first-time dungeon masters, really want their story to be epic fantasy, high fantasy, to be wide-stretching, continent-saving, god-fighting, but sometimes you just really need to save a cat or help a grandma get some ingredients for a special stew for her grandson. Not every adventure needs to be mythic and legend. Sometimes the best adventures we can find are in our everyday. Sometimes they are just people being people, helping each other. Role-playing heavy. The conclusion to an adventure is that much sweeter when the players are truly invested in a world around them. One that you have filled with multifaceted characters who bring your narrative to life. The stories that Obojime is best suited for telling are stories that revolve around the unique flavor of the world and the heartwarmingly odd people that inhabit it. So when we invite you to try out character-driven over conflict-driven stories for your Obojime Tales, a conversation can be as fulfilling as combat. Not gonna lie, I like to hit ogres. You know, give me something big to smack around and I'm happy. But role-playing where you're able to bring a character art to fruition is so satisfying when you have the table for it. So if you do not have a table that is receptive to story, communication, problem solving other than can I hit it, Obojime is still a good one for you just because it has a lot of really cool monsters in it later, but it might just be a source book where you cherry pick, pull, and place into your own world, which all of D&D is pick and pull and place into your own world. I mean, that's what the Dungeon Master is for. Combat. Most situations on Obojime can usually be solved with some smarts, a bit of tact, heaps of creativity, and a dose of magic. There are conflicts and perils on the island, to be sure, but not every confrontation has to be a result in combat. More often than not, combat can be averted with a creative solution. However, the further east you go, the more dangerous the world becomes. Past the Gale Fields, being handy with a blade is more and more a skill worth having. Even if one is drawn into a conflict, it doesn't always have to end in death. There's always pleading, parleying, and good old-fashioned fleeing. Creatures of all shapes and sizes tend to value their life over being the victor of a combat. Evil and villainy. Evil does not have a strong presence on Obojime. Generally, creatures and monsters are forces of nature, motivated out of natural fear or greed rather than evil. Most villains are comically ambitious, predictably greedy, or filled with obstinate convictions. But dig under the surface and they often have the reasons for their actions rooted in a misguided desire to do good. But that being said, there are evil forces here, spirits that have been corrupted into demons who seek unsettling ends. So there is a small pinch of spice of evil that you can certainly throw into any story soup you simmer here in the shores of Obojime. For more information on crafting villains for the Obojime stories, see page 267. We will get there eventually. Back, got myself a cheddar baked potato. God dang it, that sounds delicious. Island magic. To completely immerse yourself in the game and the flavor of Obojime, there are some spells in Dungeons & Dragons that do not exist here, and there are some new spells that we have created specifically for the world. The omission of these spells helps to further immerse your players into the world and the overall experience. For the full list, blah blah blah, we'll get there eventually. To embrace the two-plane reality of Obojime, we recommend having all plane-orientated spells such as plane shift, contact other plane, and similar type spells that involve multiverse be limited to only connecting the spirit realm. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. You don't want someone to be like, I want to go to Faerun, and you gotta be like, but it's Obojime time. Hold up. Look at this giant floating jellyfish. That'd be terrifying. Imagine you're walking around and there's just a 20-foot tall jellyfish just with tendrils going down the street, just being like, oh no. Dogs, cats, young children, maybe burly men just getting zapped up by massive jellyfish. That sounds absolutely like a horror. That sounds Cthulhu-esque. Spirit realms. Spirits are found all throughout Obojime, and they have lived side by side with people for as long as anyone can remember. But despite living here, they originate from a mystical plane that is all their own, the spirit realm. The spirit realm is a plane of eternal twilight that is overlaid on top of Obojime, occupying the same space but existing and operating beyond the ken of most physical beings. Ken means knowledge. What may appear to be an abandoned farm. There are, however, those on the island who know how to catch a glimpse of the spirit realm through potions or special magics. There are some who even know how to use these powers to enter it. The spirit realm in Obojime is replacement for the ethereal plane and the border ethereal in Dungeons & Dragons. The physical realm is the material realm. So that's like the astral sea, that's like the kind of like Fey realms. That's kind of like the Shadowfell, all that stuff. So the spirit realm is just kind of the general super spooky realm. Unless you're a sponge going hunting. Do sponges eat jellyfish? Oh, SpongeBob, I got you, Deadly. Well done. Entering the spirit realm. There are many ways to enter the spirit realm, but those methods are Entering the spirit realm. There are many ways to enter the spirit realm, but these methods are by far the most common. Through a portal, casting a spell, catching a wandering line, drinking a potion, or using a magic item. Interesting what a wandering line is. Spirit portals. Spirit portals are located on the island where the veil that keeps the spirits and physical realms separated is stretched thin enough to allow a traveler to pass between them. These places are often areas of unearthly beauty, or areas where strange occurrences are rumored to have taken place. For those that witness another pass through the spirit realm, they would see them fade out of existence, leaving no trace of where they might have gone. Stranger in a strange land. When you pass into the spirit realm, you remain a physical being, and spirits can sense the material nature of you. Spirits might remark that you smell different or are abrasively loud. Whatever the quirk is, they know that you are not of this realm. Here's a quick look into the spirit realm. Aw, they got little bluebirds and a little stick man and lots of cute little mushrooms. Oh, there's the lich. If you know, you know. Look how cute these guys are, little mosslings. I love them. This one looks like he's gonna steal your wallet, my god. And these two look like they're flirting. Alright, there are legendary places in the spirit realm. Bustling markets, floating shrines, ghost ships, and megalithic temples. These locations can be anywhere on Obojime, in the most remote mountain regions or right next to the large village, because they're invisible to anyone rooted in the physical realm. Most Obojimans have no idea that these places exist, even though it may be right under their noses. Getting out. Entering the spirit realm is one thing, but leaving it can be quite another. Gates between the worlds aren't always open, which means physical beings often need a plan B if the passage they took into the spirit realm closes whilst they're visiting. Some spirits and some very special physical beings are able to wander freely between both worlds, taking whomever they like with them. However, they often don't work for free, so you may need to strike a bargain to gain their assistance. A thin veil. Every now and then, activity from one realm can be detected by the other. Spirits in the spirit realm can sometimes sense the living energy of a creature in the physical realm, but they appear as vague, smudgy images. Conversely, beings in the physical realm may experience a movement out of the corner of their eye, or hear a strange knocking or scratching sound of a spirit that is nearby, but in the spirit realm. For example, the laughter of a particularly raunchous spirit playing a nightly poker game in the spirit realm could be a nearby villager in the physical realm awake with their haunting or annoying chuckles, which can be heard across the plains. Imagine you laugh so hard you wake somebody up in another dimension. That guy's having a good time. As a general rule, time moves in the spirit realm at a different rate. Sometimes drastically than, like, faster or slower than on the physical realm. This is for the GM to adjust to their liking. So it's like, if you wanted to go faster, you can. If you wanted to go slower, you can. If you wanted to be the same rate, no problem. That's GM discretion. Spirits on OBOJIMA are magical entities that come in all kinds of shapes and sizes and have lived among the islanders for centuries. Spirits are as much a part of OBOJIMAN society as all the other races, and has been this way for as long as anyone can remember. Spirit creature types. In the world of OBOJIMA, there are no other planes of existence other than that of the spirit realm and of the physical realm. And because of that, extraplanar creatures such as Fae, Celestials, Aberrations, instead become the creature type Spirit. That also means that spells and other special abilities that would affect those type of creatures affect the Spirit creature type instead. Like Hold Monster, all that stuff. Since there are no souls in the world of OBOJIMA, there are no ghosts as we know them. OBOJIMANs use the word ghost to refer to a spirit that never leaves the spirit realm, but occasionally can be sensed on the physical realm. You could use the D&D ghost stat block for an undead, an anomaly, or corrupted spirit. There is a wide variety of spirits, from animalistic nature spirits that run through the forest and climb among mountain ridges, to ancient and powerful elder spirits that guard sacred groves and mountaintops. There are chatty, intelligent spirits who are shopkeepers and chiefs, and there are non-sapient spirits who are everything from adorable critters to naughty pests. Unlike any other creature in the physical realm, spirits encompass an incredibly vast and diverse range of roles in the world. Because of this, material beings hold no universal opinion of them, and it often boils down to a simpler and more common thought process. If your actions are not harmful, then you are respected and cared for. Aw, if only the world worked like that. Aw, if only human society was like, if you're just being nice, then you should be treated well. Unfortunately, that is not always true. Language of the spirits. Although most spirits can speak common, spirits have their own language of Turum that is generally only heard in the spirit realm. Elder spirits. There are ancient and powerful spirits known to inhabit both the spirit and physical realm. These elder spirits are well known by those who live around them, evidenced by the many shrines that lie at the foot of mountains, and at the shoreline of lakes and rivers to mark the entrance into an elder spirit's domain. Elder spirits are often guardians of their domain, protecting and caring for the land. But that is not always the case, as some are otherworldly that can also that all anyone can do is guess as to their motives. I'm so sorry. I lost my place, and I was going off to put myself up on the side page here. Weird, my Twitch is not popping up the way I wanted to. Is it okay? It says I'm live on it. Okay, whatever. Meeting an elder spirit. Encountering an elder spirit is a quest in itself. Not all elder spirits want to be contacted. And even if they did, most aren't easily found. Most aren't easily found other than all the road marks that say there's an elder spirit in this area. Alright, many elder spirits are not invested in humans, and some may even kill humans in the way a wild animal might if threatened. If the proper care is taken, elder spirits may tolerate the presence of a non-spirit being, and those that can understand language may even converse. Meeting an elder spirit is an extreme experience. For some, it is like meeting the force of nature, a paragon of beast, a wilderness of a river, or the soul of a mountain. For other types, it could be speaking to the voice of the wind, witnessing the unfolding of a cosmic flower, or hearing legends from an ancient oak tree. The lore of OBOJIMA talks about elder spirits knowing magic, myth, and mysteries, and the many who have sought their wisdom, their knowledge, or their heads. These stories of adventuring into the realm of an elder spirit are repeated in a children's tale, around campfires and in taverns late at night. Some tales are terrifying, while others are stories of strange beauty and otherworldly journeys. But every time an adventure is met with an elder spirit, it has assuredly been a tale worth retelling. Demons! As you know, in the world of OBOJIMA, there are no other planes of existence other than the spirit realm and the physical realm. And because of that, certain extraplanar creature types have been changed to the spirit creature type. This is not the case for the fiends. Although fiends are just as wicked on OBOJIMA as the standard fantasy counterparts, they are no longer spawned from the fiery hellscapes nor battle angelic warriors. In OBOJIMA, the fiend creature type embodies a spirit that has undergone a sinful transformation. These spirits are so filled with maleficence and devoid of love that their bodies become too weak to hold the wickedness festering inside itself. It is cursed to transform, taking on a twisted caricature of itself, far removed from any of its original beauty. Spirits transformed in this way are called demons. When a spirit becomes a demon, they lose their affinity with the spirit realm, crossing over to their realm of origin becomes almost impossible, as the realm itself is revolting to them. So they become absolutely antithema to the spirit realm itself. So they get shunted over to the physical realm. Corrupted spirits. Spirits that have somehow become tainted by the corruption are forced into demon transformation. This process can happen in a matter of days, hours, weeks, depending on the strength of the spirit and the amount of interaction that they have had with the corruption. Over that time, the spirit is painfully transformed in shape and demeanor, which can range from enraged to scared to diabolical, while others might experience depression or confusion and wish to return to normal. I like the idea of slowly seeing your spirit companion continuing to fall down a layer of corruption, but you add like mechanical benefits for the player until they go so far that they become a demon and they turn on the party. Like you have a fun little companion with you, and they're a happy little spirit friend. Oh no, what's going on with my Twitch? Oh, okay, it's back up. Weird. Cosmology. OBOJIMA is a two-plane world, the physical realm and the spirit realm. All other planes do not exist in this universe. There are no gods per se, but there are elder spirits and great beasts that are revered and respected among OBOJIMANs. Other powerful spirits can become patrons of warlocks, sharing pieces of their own power. They can become an inspiration to a paladin or cleric, who through their own faith and practice can work wonders of magic inspired by the concepts that these spirits embody. Although there are many spirits worthy of respect and even fear, it is the island itself, OBOJIMA, that is honored more than any single spirit on the island. Most inhabitants of OBOJIMA rely on the land because of this, They generally give a nod of gratitude towards the letter of gratitude towards the island during a bountiful harvest or at the completion of a safe trip. But that doesn't mean that everyone feels the same. Some Obojimans don't give two hoots about the great beasts or the land's will, and think that all these offerings and shrines don't amount to a hill of Zelk beans. On the whole, Obojimans are not an overly religious lot, and are more interested in a hot bowl of soup and listening to good music in a comfy tavern with some friends than bothering some powerful beings with their endless appeals. You know what? Just on safety measures, not bothering great powerful beings with like your daily wants and needs, probably the safer of the options, right? Like at a minimum. Alright, something is going weird with my Twitch. My YouTube looks fine. Why is my Twitch not fine? So the chat is still working, but for some reason it's not like broadcasting the show itself. Huh. Oh well, I guess I'll just rely on YouTube. Good enough. Sorry for the delay. In that case, I'll open up TikTok on my phone. Hello! Welcome back, Robin. I see you. The island! To the people who live here, the world begins and ends at the shore. The ocean surrounds Obojima, stretching out to the horizon in all directions. The island, the ocean, and the sky are all there is. What does this mean for Obojimans? This chapter explores what life is like on the island. It contains an overview of the island's history, culture, and geography, as well as a breakdown of the island's currency. You will also find descriptions of factions, organizations that are actively across Obojima. It's not a new game. Well, it's a new setting for D&D. How Obojimans live. Obojima is a small enough that a general island culture has developed over centuries. It's predominantly a mix of Nakudum and human root cultures, but has since developed into something that transcends race and religion. Spirits, magic, and gadgetry from the island's distant past all have a place in Obojiman culture. Each settlement has its own character, with quirks, nuances, and traditions of their own, but they are not so removed from the wider culture that they would be considered something wholly different. With few exceptions, Obojimans live in villages and small towns across the island. No monarch or governing body can claim rulership of the island. Instead, governance is left to the individual settlements. Some look to elders or elect mayors to lead them. Others form affiliations with other settlements to form a cooperative league, a common practice in the region known as the Gift of Shuritashi. However, they are governed. Most Obojimans get by as farmers or fishfolk. Other common trades and professions include artisans, merchants, specialty chefs, and potion crafters. Specialties vary by region and by village. The general independence of settlements means each one is also responsible for defending itself. Larger towns might have a town guard, while smaller settlements may rely on a militia or even a solitary local champion to come to their defense. It also means adventurers are frequently called upon to ensure settlement safety. Life's big questions, but perhaps no other factors shape the typical Obojiman worldview more than the fact that their entire world is made up of an island. Beyond the island, walk to the water's edge, stick your toes in the sand. Now look across the ocean, nothing but the glistening sea. Do this again wherever the island meets the sea, and the results will be the same. There is Obojima, and then there is the vastness of the endless ocean. What else is there? This is how Obojimans see their island's place. In their watery world, there are an island unto themselves. Every time an intrepid soul gets the itch to see beyond the horizon for themselves, this worldview is reinforced because those who leave don't return. That doesn't mean there is no speculation or fantasizing about what might be hiding just out of view. In fact, Beyond the Island is a favorite storytelling game among tavern goers. In the game, players weave a fanciful tale about something that exists beyond the island. Each player builds on the previous player's idea until they're left with a truly outlandish story. I like that. A little bit of world building, a little bit of the, Huh. It's too loud for me. There we go. That's better. The people of Obojima coexist with spirits, which occupy a unique position in Obojiman society. People respect and even revere certain spirits, while other spirits live among their corporeal counterparts as residents in the village and towns. Some spirits are even regarded as pests or nuisances. Whatever the case may be, spirits are part of the everyday life. That's not to say that spirits and spirit realms are mundane. It's more that the people of Obojima have resigned themselves to never fully understanding their mysterious manner. It's simply another quirk in their charming world. Certain spirit behaviors have led Obojimans to at least place spirits into one of three categories that reflect their relationship with the physical realm. There are three types: are the spirits who live in the physical realm, spirits who wander back and forth between the realms, and spirits that live exclusively in the spirit realm. To non-spirit Obojimans, they are known colloquially as homebodies, wanderers, and ghosts. So homebodies are those who stay in the physical realm, not their home. Wanderers are those who wander between. And ghosts are those who stay specifically in the spirit realm. That makes a little bit of sense, but not a ton. You know what I mean? My side is starting to hurt me. Homebodies. Spirits that live in the physical realm are called homebodies by the locals, as they prefer to live and walk among the Obojimans rather than among the other spirits in the spirit realm. There are many reasons why these spirits have left their plane of origin, aka not their home, Some may prefer the bustle and sensations of the physical realm, while others may live here because they cannot go back, perhaps due to a magic curse, having spent too long in the physical realm or being corrupted. Wanderers, spirits who can travel freely back and forth between the physical realm and the spirit realm, are known as wanderers by the OBOJIMANs. These spirits often work as guides, messengers, and merchants who deal in goods from both realms. But there are some who are not to be trusted and seek to exploit the foolish and naive. Ghosts, spirits who have for various reasons never set foot in the physical realm and are bound to the spirit realm, are known as ghosts. In fact, OBOJIMANs will often say if something has a noisy spirit that they have a ghost, as some spirits can make such ruckus that even the spirit realm they can be heard in the physical realm. Spirits who can move back and forth freely between the planes are a fun plot device to tell some interesting stories. A spirit intermediately is a useful NPC, as they can negotiate deals and give quests between physical and spirit realms. Spirit go-betweens can set up adventurers where the party is called on to help spirits, or if the adventurers get trapped in the spirit realm, they can help guide them. That makes sense. Oh, look at this little spirit with all these, like, spirit lanterns with the blue flame. And she seems like some type of spirit shaman with this magical rod with, like, a blue brazier at the top here. That is absolutely darling. Darling, I say. Everyday magic. Magic permeates OBOJIMA, and not just in the sense that the island is magical, which it is. It's also part of the daily lives of OBOJIMANs. Various traditions of folk magic, academic wizardry, and the trade secrets of witch covens are all part of the magic that people employ to make their lives easier. Most folks are not gifted in the magic arts, but those who are often find places and settlements to offer their services to the locals. Potions in particular are always in demand. The work smarter, not harder mindset The work smarter, not harder minded farmer might use a potion of rabbit speed to finish the harvest, or a traveling merchant whose cart broke a wheel could reach for a potion of liquid mending to quickly make a repair. This kind of common magic is not something OBOJIMANs fear or mistrust. In fact, new magical breakthroughs are often more than not greeted with curiosity and excitement. Then there's the magic that can dazzle and awe. Spirits and powerful spellcasters can tap into arcane energies that is beyond the ordinary and mundane, revealing a peek into the unseen sea of magic that roils across all OBOJIMA. Beliefs about death. Beliefs about death are as varied as the OBOJIMANs themselves. Hey, Monkey Boy 2020, welcome in. Hello, hello. I like to see you. Get on in here. Let me just make this a little smaller. Click this over here so I can see both of my chats. There we go. Excuse me. Beliefs about death are as varied as the OBOJIMANs themselves. An adventurer who roams the island and studies the different locations will find that where an OBOJIMAN lives affects what they believe and shape their view of what might happen after death. When an OBOJIMAN passes away, they might hear someone in a coastal village say that they've gone beyond the horizon, or a farmer in the Gale fields say that they have returned to the island. There are many on the island who believe that everyone's essence is magic, the same power that can shake the earth, conjure flame, or heal a wound. It is the same power that puts the lights of consciousness in every being. For the most part, OBOJIMANs don't really think that much about death, as they are largely focused on living each day to the fullest. An adventurer will often find Obojimans working, playing, loafing, and singing during the day. Then, as the sun begins to set, they all come to the village to enjoy the comforts of the community, with music, food, drink, and tall tales. When death does come for one of the villagers, it is a bittersweet moment. Many approach death with curiosity and wonder, for to reunite with the magic and mystery of Obojima is the greatest of blessings. Because of this, an Obojima funeral is often both a celebration and a sorrow. Depending on where they live, Obojimans may bury their departed in the earth, burn them on fire, immerse them in the ocean, or leave them on a hilltop. In all cases, the belief is that Obojimans will reclaim its children and take them back into its heart, perhaps even to return again in some other form. Look at these Obojima farmers. She looks like she's using some type of growth spell to grow her crops. This guy definitely has some type of strength spell if he's wheelbarrowing all these, what are they, packages, hay bales, something. But that looks heavy with a pitchfork, so it's probably some type of hay. Currency. Though bartering is commonplace, particularly in the rural reaches of the island, most Obojimans accept a standard coinage that is minted by sages of the Dawn Blossom Guild. The currency has 3 denominations: gold flower, sea petal, and copper bulb. Colloquially, they are called flowers, petals, and bulbs, of course. All coins produced by the Dawn Blossom Guild are infused with a magical energy that sages channels into them. To these secret sages, the exchange of money is an exchange of energy. It is a critical transaction that keeps energy flowing through the island. The clink of guild-minted coins is a sound that is pleasing to the ear. Coins that were not created by the Dawn Blossom Guild or those that lost the magic within them sound dead by contrast. Therefore, most people only accept what are deemed true coins, those minted by the Dawn Blossom Guild as currency. Yeah, copper, silver, gold. Sea petal instead of like silver petal for some reason, even though they did copper and gold here. Oh, I like that the copper bulb looks like a scale. Sea petal looks like a ginkgo leaf, and gold flower looks kind of like a lotus flower or like a dandelion, but with petals. Currency in the spirit realm because of their spiritual essence. Oof. Because of their spirit essence, gold flower coins are real in both realms, and spirits will readily trade in gold for goods and services. Though there are some spirits that are less interested in precious metals and more interested in bartering for goods brought from the physical realm. Languages. The common language of Obojima is based primarily on the one brought by the humans, though it also contains a smattering of Nakaduman language. Naku. Most Nakuduman continue to speak their original language as well as common tongue, and they claim, oh man, brief intermission. Torum is the favorite language of the spirit realms, though non-spirits can learn to understand it. Beings of the physical realm often can't make the layered sounds required to voice the words. The objects and structures from the island's earliest age contain a variety of written languages, known to the islanders as the First Age language. Other than the academics who devote themselves to studying these mysterious languages, people generally only know a handful of words. The history of Obojima is best understood in a series of eras, each one named for the people who arrived at the era's start. Arrived from where? The only exception to this rule is the era of prehistory, known simply as the First Age, which encompasses all of Obojiman history until, until the arrival of the Nukaduman. Discussions of the First Age refer mostly to one of two topics: the particular technology scattered across Obojime and the spirits of the island who may have always been a part of it. The second A, which stretches back into myth, is the Nukaduman Age, whether we are to believe the myths about how the Nukaduman Queen traveled across the vast ocean to land upon the shores of the island is not as important as understanding that the Nukaduman have inhabited Obojime for generations beyond count. The Nukaduman Age gave way to the age of humanity 1200 years ago, when the first human seafaring people found their way to the island. Humans and Nukaduman quickly took to one another, establishing many joint settlements that continue to thrive today. This era also saw that the first elves born among humans. Okay, so we have two different peoples who came from beyond the island through through the ocean, and still people are like, yeah, I don't know if anything's beyond the island. When the two people who live here came from beyond the island, that seems a little convoluted. The current era began 300 years ago when the Dara first emerged from the forest. It has therefore been dubbed the Dara Age. However, coming from what has been called the corruption may yet herald a new era altogether. So it seems like the ages are coming quicker. Founded the capital city of Lilywin. Arrival of the Nukaduman. Age of the Unknown. Earthquake and tsunami shake the island. Fishfolk raids mark the start of the Lionfish King's reign. Kite racing established in the Sky Kite Valley. Arrival of the Dara people. Arrival of Dara the Nomad. Interesting. Age of the Nukaduman. So we have Ancients, the Ogma, the Demon Usurper, Death of the Mountain Strider, Monarchy dissolves, Sky Salamander appears, Arrival of the Humans, First Elves born, Laughing Plague chuckles among the East Coast. That sounds terrifying. The Laughing Plague? My goodness. Vanishing Mountain, first sighted. Formation of the Courier Brigade, shout out to couriers, and first currency minted. Obojima was deposed and in prison. Agama was deposed and in prison, but the kingdom was left in shambles. Rather than rebuilding the remaining Nakaduma led by the sage known as Shalwin, Kul chose to disband the monarchy and rebuild a new society in the areas unchanged by the war. Arrival of the humans. It is said that the first humans, first elves, Vanishing Mountain first sighted. We get it. Alright, I think that this is a good spot to leave our first episode of our review of Obojime. Took about an hour to get through. We are loving the view of this beautiful, beautiful spirit lands. Magical spirit forests. We got some vending machines with a cat on top. We got an empty vending machine with nothing, with maybe some crumbs inside. And next thing we're going to start off with is technology. Everyone loves gadgets and gizmos. Ooh, and the corruption. We have a bunch of stuff to look forward till next time. Well, till next time, my friends, I have been Tapinator. This has been Obojime, and as always, make sure you live your life with some peace, some balance, and some love in your everyday. The most important thing, the least important thing, and the last thing to say of any good stream is, in fact, end stream. Until next time, my friends. Until next time. end stream.